and good day, everyone. Today we'll be sharing our video analysis on the social dilemma. This documentary opened our eyes to the hidden power of social media and how it affects our freedom, dignity, intellect, and moral laws.
The social media dilemma talks about how social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest are not made just for entertainment, but to catch our attention and affect our decisions. Every like and share is being tracked, and that data is used to keep us hooked for using the platforms for an extended period of time. The documentary explains how these platforms rely on algorithms that decide what content appears on our screens to maximize engagement. From the interviews with former tech employees, we learned that these algorithms are not objective because they are programmed to keep us scrolling nonstop in ways that benefit advertisers who pay for our attention. As stated, we are not the customers of social media, but we are the product. The film also explains that serious consequences of platforms programmed to hook us by showing how social media can contribute to mental health problems, especially among young people who compare themselves to what they see online. The spread of fake news is another problem, since false information usually travels faster than the truth, which influences the public in harmful ways. Lastly, the documentary portrays how the patterns can weaken real human relationship as people spend more time on screens and less time in face-to-face interactions.
I'm going to analyze the problems discussed in the documentary using four key concepts, and one of them being intellect and free will. We have the power to think critically and make free choices, but in the documentary, we see how algorithms manipulate us and what we see online. Our intellect should guide us to ask if whatever we see online is true, and if we're being influenced or not. But when we get hooked onto endless scrolling, our intellect and free will grows weaker. Under natural moral law, the law basically tells us to choose between what is good and avoid what is harmful. The documentary also reveals how companies prioritize profit over morality. Harmful content spreads faster and they still allow it because they themselves benefit from it. Under freedom, it's not just about doing whatever we want. It's also about making responsible choices. The film shows that dependence on social media actually makes us less free because we are controlled by what the screen feeds us. True freedom is when we use technology instead of letting it use us. And under dignity, every person has dignity. But the documentary shows how our dignity is reduced when we are treated as products. Our data and emotions are sold to advertisers. And when we are seen as data points instead of people, our dignity is compromised.
If this issue happened in my community or to me personally, intellect, free will, moral law, freedom, and dignity would guide me to respond properly. I would start by being more mindful of how I use social media. I would fact-check what I see and make conscious decisions and choices instead of just reacting to what appears on my screen. Moral values would help me avoid harmful posts, gossip, or false news, which pushes me to share messages that are truthful and respectful. To protect my freedom, I would practice self-discipline by setting limits on my screen time, focusing on real-life connections, and ensuring that technology does not control me on how I spend my day. Respecting others online shall be practiced because each person deserves kindness and understanding. I would avoid degrading them to just their opinions. I could also encourage my friends and family to use social media wisely, reminding them to think about what they see, especially when AI media is found more often. With this, we can help create a space where technology grows relationships instead of weakening them.
The social dilemma reminds us that technology is not automatically good or bad, but it's how we use it that shapes its effect on our lives. If we let intellect, free will, moral law, freedom, and dignity guide our choices, Social media can be a tool for learning instead of being manipulated by the programming. If we ignore these characteristics, it may become a trap that harms our relationships and weakens our freedom. Each of us has the responsibility to decide how social media will influence our future. And that begins with small choices like thinking before you do something and respecting others. And so, with that, thank you for listening, and I hope this helps you to think about your digital habits.